The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, but it was also full of dangers. Many civilizations had spread across the stars, building great empires, powerful fleets, and mighty weapons. But no matter how strong these empires were, there was one rule that every race followed without question: never enter human space. The humans' territory was a forbidden frontier, a place so feared and respected that even the bravest commanders avoided it. Stories spread like wildfire in every system about what happened to those who dared to cross into human space. Ships vanished without a trace. Entire fleets were lost. The whispers said humans were not like others. They had a deadly power hidden. Deep within their borders, its power was unknown, mysterious, and terrifying. Everyone knew the risks, so no one crossed the invisible line in the Galactic Council's chambers. The most powerful leaders of the galaxy gathered to discuss threats and peace. This council was where alliances were made and wars decided. Today, the topic was clear: human space. A large holographic map floated in the center of the room, showing the edge of human territory in glowing red lines that pulsed like a warning light. Every delegate's face showed concern. They all knew the same truth but dared not speak it out loud: the humans had never officially declared war. Yet their space was marked as off-limits for a reason. No one dared enter. The chairperson of the council, an ancient alien with shining silver eyes, spoke in a low, serious voice. "We have reports. An unknown alien ship has breached the boundary of human space. This is the first time in decades." A heavy silence fell over the room. The tension was thick like smoke. Everyone understood the gravity of this news. Humans did not allow strangers in their domain. What would happen to that ship? Would it be destroyed? Would it be captured? Worse, would it bring back something terrible? In the shadowed corners of the chamber, whispers began to spread. Why would anyone risk entering human space? They must be desperate or fools. Could it be a mistake or a trap? What if the humans have grown stronger? The fear in their voices was clear. They'd all heard the stories about human warriors, how they survived in the harshest conditions, how they fought with a brutal style unknown to the galaxy, how their technology blended simplicity with deadly efficiency. The humans were an enigma. Far from the council chambers, the alien ship itself drifted silently at the edge of human space. It was a scout vessel, small but equipped with the latest stealth technology. Its mission was simple: to observe and gather information about human activity. The ship's captain, an experienced officer from a powerful star system, had orders to stay cautious, yet curiosity had driven him to push further, crossing the forbidden line. As the ship glided deeper into the dark, unknown region, an uneasy feeling settled over the crew. The sensors were picking up strange readings, unexplained signals, shifting energy fields, an eerie silence from the human side. The captain stood on the bridge, staring at the glowing screens. "Something is wrong," he muttered. "We should turn back." But his second-in-command shook his head. "We have our orders. We need answers." The ship continued forward, deeper into the heart of human territory. Suddenly, the sensors flickered. A pulse of energy passed through the ship, and the comm system cracked with static. The crew exchanged nervous glances. "Report all systems," the captain ordered. But no clear response came. Instruments went dark, and the ship's engines began to falter. Panic rose among the crew. They had crossed into a space where the laws of physics seemed different, where technology didn't work the way it should. Meanwhile, back on the Galactic Council, anxiety turned into fear as they lost contact with the scout ship. Days passed. Without any message, the council debated sending a rescue team, but no one wanted to risk their own ships in that deadly zone. The mystery grew bigger with every passing hour. What had happened to the scout? Was it destroyed or captured? Or was something else at play? Stories from old veterans told of humans who could manipulate their environment, hiding their true power. Some believed humans were born from a harsh world that made them stronger and more ruthless. Others said humans had discovered technologies that even the most advanced races could not understand. But no one had proof, till now. On the edge of the Forbidden Zone, an alien research vessel moved cautiously. This new mission was not just about scouting anymore, it was about survival. The crew knew the risks, they prepared for the worst. But as they entered human space, strange things began to happen. The stars outside the windows seemed to flicker. The air inside the ship grew heavy. Equipment malfunctioned one after another. The crew's nerves were on edge, eyes scanning every shadow for signs of danger. In the silence, a new sound was heard, a low hum like a heartbeat from the void. It grew louder, echoing through the ship's halls. The captain ordered a full alert. Everyone moved quickly to their stations, weapons ready. Suddenly, the ship's sensors detected movement, a massive fleet emerging from the darkness. The aliens froze in disbelief. The fleet was unlike anything they had ever seen, sleek, fast, and heavily armed. These ships moved with a confidence that spoke of years of battle experience. Their markings were human but different, more advanced, more deadly.
Ow.
The fleet closed. In without warning, the aliens tried to communicate, to warn, or negotiate. But the humans gave no response. In the next moments, the true horror began. Human ships unleashed waves of energy blasts that disabled the alien vessel's shields in seconds. The alien crew scrambled to defend themselves, but it was too late. The human fleet surrounded them, showing no mercy.
Ow.
The aliens were forced to surrender or be destroyed. News of this attack spread quickly across the galaxy, igniting fear like a wildfire. The message was clear. Humans were no longer just a mystery. They were a deadly force, ready to defend their space and punish those who dared cross the line. In the Galactic Council, leaders argued fiercely. Some called for immediate retaliation, others for cautious diplomacy. But the fear was undeniable. The humans had shown their strength in the most brutal way. No one could ignore it anymore. Back in human space, the true nature of humans began to reveal itself. They were not just warriors, they were survivors shaped by a world full of harsh conditions and constant threats. Their technology was simple on the surface, but hiding secrets that gave them an edge over all others. Their strategy was to avoid open war, but to strike with overwhelming power when provoked. The alien scout ship that had crossed the boundary had awakened a sleeping giant. And now, the galaxy was watching with bated breath. The forbidden frontier was no longer just a warning, it was a battleground waiting to erupt, as the humans prepared for what was coming. One question burned in the minds of all watching races. What would happen next? Would the humans expand beyond their borders? Would the galaxy unite to stop them? Or would the humans' fearsome power spread like fire, consuming everything in their path? In the silence of space, the answer waited, and the galaxy was not ready. The alien rescue fleet moved slowly toward the last known position of the lost scout ship, its sleek vessels gliding quietly through the dark emptiness of human space. The atmosphere on board was tense. Every officer knew this mission was unlike any other. The boundaries they crossed were no longer just lines on a map. They were walls built by fear and deadly warnings. Now those walls seemed to close in around them, cold and unforgiving. The silence of space pressed heavily on their minds, broken only by the faint hum of their engines and the occasional crackle of communication. No one spoke much, as if words might summon the danger lurking just beyond their sensors. Captain Varen, the leader of the rescue team, stared out into the darkness. He was a seasoned veteran, having fought many battles. But nothing had prepared him for centering the territory of a species known for ruthless survival and mysterious power. He felt a cold shiver run down his spine. "Stay alert," he ordered quietly. "Don't know what's waiting for us out here." The ship's scanners flickered suddenly, picking up faint signals unlike any they had encountered before. The signals were irregular, almost like a heartbeat hidden beneath static noise. Technicians scrambled to analyze the data, their faces growing pale with every new detail. Captain, one whispered, "These readings are ... not normal. They seem to be some kind of energy pulses, but unlike anything in our databases." Varen nodded grimly. "Could be a trap," he said, "or some kind of warning." As they moved deeper, strange things began to happen. The ship's artificial gravity fluctuated, lights dimmed and flickered. Crew members reported hearing whispers, faint and distorted, coming from the walls. Superstitions from old space legends crept into their minds, the ghosts of lost ships, the curses of forgotten worlds. The fear was real, but it was also a tool, something the humans might be using against them. Then, without warning, the rescue fleet's communication systems went dead. All channels went silent. Panic spread like wildfire. Officers tried to call out, but their voices returned only as hollow echoes. In the darkness, shadows shifted where no light should be.
By the rescue team.
When suddenly, a flash of light erupted. In the distance, human ships appeared from nowhere, dozens of them, fast and precise, cutting through space like hunting wolves. They surrounded the rescue fleet with terrifying speed, weapons locked and ready. The humans didn't communicate. They didn't negotiate. Their movements were clear. This was a warning. Leave now, or face destruction. Varen raised his hand to call a retreat, but the human ships fired first. Energy beams slammed into the rescue vessels, tearing through shields and hulls with brutal efficiency. Explosions lit up the dark void, and screams echoed through the fleet's comms before cutting out completely. The humans were not just defending, they were attacking with cold precision. One rescue ship was hit hard and spun out of control, its crew scrambling to survive as the hull ruptured. The rest tried to break formation and flee, but the humans closed in relentlessly. The battle was swift, violent, and one-sided. When the fighting stopped, only a few of the alien ships remained, badly damaged and drifting helplessly. The humans vanished as quickly as they had come, leaving behind silence and fear. Back in the Galactic Council, the news of the attack spread like wildfire. Panic gripped the chambers as leaders demanded answers. How had humans grown so powerful without the galaxy noticing? Why had they attacked without warning? And most frightening of all, what was their next move? Some called for immediate retaliation. Others begged for peace, but all agreed on one thing. The humans were no longer a distant mystery. They were a real and deadly threat. Meanwhile, on a remote outpost near human space, an alien scientist studied the data from the destroyed ships. Her name was Lyra, and she was one of the few who believed understanding humans was the key to survival. She examined the strange energy signatures, the technology wreckage, and the human tactics. "This is not just war," she whispered to herself. "This is something new, something we don't understand." Lyra's research uncovered something chilling. The humans' weapons were unlike anything designed to kill quickly. They seemed to be designed to disrupt, confuse, and control. The energy pulses that disabled their ship's systems were linked to a strange kind of technology that bent reality around them. It was as if humans could manipulate the very fabric of space to their advantage. The galaxy's best minds had never seen anything like it, but the most disturbing discovery came from intercepted human messages. Hidden in the transmissions was a simple but powerful warning. We do not want war. But if you enter our space, you will face fire. The message was clear. Humans did not seek to conquer. They sought to protect. And they were willing to destroy anyone who threatened that protection. The galaxy had underestimated them for too long. Now the price was beginning to show. In the dark corridors of human space, a different story was unfolding. The humans prepared for what was coming. Their leaders knew the galaxy's fear had been awakened, and with it, the risk of war. But humans were ready not because they wanted conflict, but because survival had shaped them into warriors unlike any other. The humans' world had once been a brutal place, filled with dangers no alien could imagine. Their ancestors had fought not just against enemies, but against nature itself, harsh climates, deadly beasts, and scarce resources. This struggle had forged humans into tough, clever, and relentless survivors. Their technology was simple, yes, but every tool and weapon was tested by fire and built to last. Their strategy was clear: avoid open battle unless necessary. But when forced, fight with overwhelming force and unforgiving precision. Back at the edge of the forbidden frontier, a lone alien ship hovered silently. It was a relic, a ghost from the past, sent years ago and lost in the mystery of human space. Now it was the only witness to the awakening storm. Its sensors picked up signs of life-human colonies, secret bases, and vast fleets hidden in the shadows. The alien crew realized the truth. The humans were not just defending their space, they were preparing to change the galaxy forever. As the alien ship turned to leave, it sent a single, urgent message to the Council: beware, the fire has started. It will not stop until it consumes us all. The abandoned human outpost stood silent and cold in the endless darkness of space. Its metal walls were scratched and worn, showing signs of age and battles long past. The alien rescue team's shuttle drifted slowly toward the station lights, cutting through the thick shadows. Inside, the atmosphere was thick with tension and nervous anticipation. Captain Varen, still shaken from the last encounter, stared at the outpost's entrance. This place held answers, or perhaps deadly traps. But with their fleet crippled and no support nearby, they had little choice but to investigate. As the shuttle docked and the crew entered, the silence grew heavier. No signs of life greeted them, only echoes bouncing off cold metal walls. The air was stale, untouched for years. Strange symbols decorated the walls, written in an alphabet none of the aliens understood. The crew moved carefully, weapons drawn, but ready for anything. Every shadow seemed alive, every corridor a potential threat. Then, on one of the control panels, the ship's engineer detected a faint power signature, a heartbeat of energy still pulsing inside the station. Following the signal, the team found a hidden chamber, locked tight but strangely intact. Inside, ancient human technology blinked to life as they approached. A holographic message suddenly appeared, flickering, fragmented but clear enough to understand. The voice was calm but firm, warning the viewer in a simple, direct way: if you want to live, leave now. The message continued, speaking of dangers hidden deep within human space, dangers no enemy had ever survived. The aliens exchanged uneasy looks. This was no ordinary warning. It was a promise of destruction. Captain Varen's heart pounded. Have we walked into?" he muttered. The rest of the crew debated their options. Turn back now and risk never knowing what happened to the scout ship, or press deeper and risk falling into a trap. Their curiosity pushed them onward, but fear lingered in every step. The outpost seemed alive with unseen eyes watching their every move. In the days that followed, the crew uncovered more signs of human presence: barracks, long-abandoned weapons, caches rusted but still deadly, and data cores filled with logs from human patrols. Each record told stories of fierce battles fought with brutal efficiency. The humans had defended their space not with massive armies, but with precision strikes and unexpected tactics. Their warriors were fast, smart, and merciless. They used the environment like weapons, turning even the smallest detail into an advantage. But the most disturbing discovery came when the aliens found a room filled with strange devices, machines that hummed softly and emitted pulses of energy unlike anything known in the galaxy. The ship's scientists tried to study them, but the technology seemed to resist understanding. It was as if the machines operated on principles beyond normal science, bending reality in subtle ways to protect their owners. The alien scientists felt a chill as they realized how far humans had advanced, quietly hidden from the rest of the galaxy. Back on their ship, the rescue team's communications officer intercepted faint transmissions from deep within human space. The messages were encrypted, but patterns emerged: warnings, battle commands, and references to an unknown project called the Shield. The aliens speculated endlessly: was this shield a new weapon? A defense system? Or something even more terrifying? Tensions grew as strange phenomena increased. Crew members reported seeing fleeting shapes in the shadows, hearing voices just out of reach, and experiencing sudden headaches and dizziness. Some whispered of ghosts, curses, or psychic attacks. Others believed the humans had developed mental weapons to break the minds of intruders. The fear was spreading faster than the science could explain. Meanwhile, on the far side of human space, a human warship moved swiftly through the stars. Its captain, Commander Reyna, was a veteran of countless battles, known for her sharp mind. In cold efficiency, she had been monitoring the alien activity near the borders and knew that it was only a matter of time before they tried to push deeper. Her orders were clear: protect human space at all costs. Reyna's ship was equipped with advanced cloaking technology and weapons designed for stealth attacks. As she approached the alien outpost, her crew prepared for whatever awaited them inside. She was calm, but ready humans did not rely on luck. They relied on preparation and willpower. Suddenly, a sensor picked up the presence of the alien rescue fleet's remaining ships. Reyna smiled coldly. "They think they can come here and take our secrets," she said. "They will learn why. No one dares enter human space." The stage was set for a confrontation that would change the galaxy forever. The aliens had glimpsed the surface of human power, but the humans were ready to show their true strength. Behind every silent star, behind every shadowed asteroid, a force was gathering, a force born of survival, shaped by fire and fueled by a promise: no one would ever threaten human space again without facing the consequences. The mystery deepened. The tension grew, and the forbidden frontier awaited its next chapter. A sudden storm of energy lit up the dark space near the human outpost, as Commander Reyna's fleet appeared like shadows sliding through the void. The human ships moved with swift, silent precision, sleek vessels that seemed almost alive, built for speed and destruction. Their weapons glowed faintly with a blue energy that hummed through the hulls, a promise of power waiting to be unleashed. The alien rescue fleet, still struggling to recover from the earlier attack, barely had time to react before the humans struck. The first blast tore through the lead alien cruiser, shattering its shields and throwing the ship into chaos. Explosions rippled along its surface, sending debris spiraling into space. Panic spread quickly as the aliens tried to regroup and mount a defense, but the humans were relentless. They attacked with calculated strikes that hit weak points the aliens didn't even know existed. It was as if the humans had studied every possible move and had already planned counters for all of them. "Captain," Baron watched in horror as his ships were cut down one by one. "We're being hunted," he said, voice tight with fear. "This is no ordinary battle. They know us. They know our tactics." The truth was worse than he imagined. The humans were not just fighting for territory, they were sending a message. A brutal warning that their space was untouchable. Their power absolute. Among the attacking human fleet was a massive warship, unlike any seen before. Its hull was dark and angular, covered with plates that shimmered and shifted like liquid metal. It moved with a strange grace, weaving between blasts and strikes, seemingly untouchable. This was the flagship, a symbol of human strength and resolve, as it unleashed a barrage of energy that shattered the alien command ship's core. The remaining aliens could only watch and wait for the end. But the battle was not just fought with weapons. As the dust settled, strange phenomena began to unfold. Alien ships reported sudden blackouts, systems failing without explanation. Some crews felt strange waves of fear and confusion sweeping through their minds. It was as if the humans could reach inside their heads, breaking their will and turning them against each other. The rescue mission had become a nightmare beyond physical destruction. Back in the Galactic Council, shock turned to panic. Leaders argued fiercely, some calling for immediate retaliation, others begging for calm and diplomacy. The humans had broken all the old rules. They had shown not just power, but a terrifying new kind of war, one that combined advanced technology with something deeper, something almost supernatural. The Council struggled to understand what they faced. Meanwhile, Commander Reyna's voice echoed through her fleet, calm but full of authority. "This is just the beginning. We protect human space at any cost. Anyone who enters without permission will be destroyed." Her words were a promise, and a threat. They were ready to defend their territory with all their might. On board the flagship, hidden deep within its core, lay a secret project, a weapon unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Known only as the Shield, it was a defense system that could bend space and time, creating barriers that no attack could penetrate. It was the ultimate protection for human space, a silent guardian ready to awaken. The scientists who built it worked in shadows, knowing that their creation could change the balance of power forever as the alien survivors retreated. Nursing their wounds in fear, the galaxy realized a harsh truth. Human space was no longer just a border. Fortress, a warning, and a challenge all at once. The humans had emerged from the shadows, and the fire they carried was spreading fast. The question on everyone's lips was simple yet terrifying. How far would the humans go? Would they stop at defense, or was something bigger coming? The galaxy held its breath, waiting for the next move in a deadly game where only one rule mattered: survive or be destroyed. The forbidden frontier had been breached, and the war for its secrets was only beginning. Word of the sudden and brutal human attack spread quickly across the galaxy like wildfire. From the farthest star systems to the heart of the Galactic Council, fear and uncertainty gripped every civilization. Humans were no longer just a shadowy mystery on the edge of space. They were a force that could no longer be ignored. Every leader wondered, what was the true extent of human power, and how far would they go to protect their territory? Alien governments scrambled to strengthen their defenses. Fleets were ordered to patrol borders near human space. Weapon production increased, and old alliances were tested as neighboring systems debated whether to band together or protect their own interests first. But no matter how many ships were built or how many plans were made, the fear remained because no one truly understood what they were facing deep inside human space. A new kind of preparation was underway. Human scientists and commanders worked tirelessly to perfect their strategies and technology. The project known as the Shield advanced steadily. A weapon and defense system unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was designed to create an almost impenetrable barrier around their territory, bending the very fabric of space-time to keep enemies out and protect what was theirs. But humans knew that power alone was not enough. Their greatest strength lay in their survival instincts, forged over millennia in a harsh world filled with danger. This instinct made them unpredictable, fierce, and relentless. They did not fight for glory or conquest. They fought because survival demanded it. And now, the entire galaxy would come to learn just how far that survival instinct could reach. Among the alien civilizations, whispers of human secrets began to spread. Some claimed humans had developed weapons that could disable entire fleets with a single strike. Others said humans had mastered mental warfare, breaking enemy will without firing a shot. The truth was hidden in layers of mystery, but all agreed on one thing: humans were different, and they were dangerous. An alien spy embedded within the outskirts of human space sent urgent messages back to the Council. He spoke of hidden human bases, rapid fleet mobilizations, and strange energy pulses that interfered with alien technology. His reports warned that the humans were not just preparing to defend, they might be preparing to expand. The Galactic Council met again in emergency session, this time with a new sense of urgency. Some delegates argued for a preemptive strike to cripple human forces before they grew stronger. Others pleaded for more time to negotiate, fearing that war with the humans would destroy the fragile balance of the galaxy. But most voices were filled with dread. How could they fight a species that seemed to know their every move before it even happened? Back in human command centers, Commander Reyna reviewed the latest intelligence. "They're scared," she said quietly to her officers. "They don't understand us yet, but soon they will." She was calm, but her eyes burned with determination. The humans had no desire to conquer the galaxy, but they would not back down from anyone who threatened their home. Suddenly, a new message arrived, this time from a distant alien colony that had been attacked without warning. The report was horrifying. The colony was devastated in minutes. its defenses overwhelmed by a human strike force that seemed to appear out of nowhere. Survivors described human warriors moving with terrifying speed and efficiency, using weapons that disabled technology instantly. The attack was clean, brutal, and left no doubt. Humans were willing to use deadly force to protect their space. As the news spread, panic turned to chaos in many parts of the galaxy. Merchants canceled trade routes near human space. Colonies fortified their defenses, and spies worked overtime to gather any information on the humans' next move. The fear was contagious, spreading faster than any fleet could travel. Yet amid the chaos, a few voices warned against underestimating humans. Lyra, the alien scientist who had studied the strange energy pulses in human technology, spoke at the council. "Humans are not just warriors," she said. "They are survivors with a deep connection to their world and their people. Their strength comes from a place we do not understand yet. We must be careful. We face a force unlike any other." Words were met with mixed reactions. Some called her a voice of reason. Others accused her of sympathizing with the enemy. But even those who doubted her could not ignore the growing evidence. Humans were changing the game. And the galaxy was forced to pay attention. In the shadows of human space, preparations continued. The humans were ready not just to defend, but to face whatever challenge came next. Their technology advanced. Their fleets grew, and their will hardened. They had already proven that entering their space was a deadly mistake. Now, the question was clear. What would they do next? The galaxy waited, watching, fearing the fire that humans had already started to spread. It began without warning. On the edge of a quiet alien colony near human space, alarms blared as sensors picked up movement, unusual energy signatures, far too fast to be anything normal. Ships scrambled into the air, defense turrets powered up, and commanders issued orders through tight channels. No one expected a full-scale attack. They believed their colony was far enough from the border to be safe. Oh, but they were wrong. Dead wrong. Out of the dark, a human strike force arrived, with fanfare. Not with flashing lights or communication, but with precision, silence, and overwhelming force. Their ships were black and fast, almost invisible against the starfield. Shaped for speed and power, they came in low, fast, coordinated like a single mind. Each movement calculated, each strike deliberate. No demands were made, no messages sent. Only action. The first target was the colony's communication array. Within seconds, it was gone, cut in half by a weapon that left no sound, just a flash of light and crumbling metal. Defense drones rose into the sky, but the humans were already inside the base. Dropships landed with deadly speed, deploying soldiers in armor that shimmered and adapted to their surroundings. The human soldiers didn't shout, didn't hesitate. They moved with cold focus, weapons in hand, eyes scanning, firing only when needed, and every shot hit exactly where it should. The colony's guards fought back, but it was hopeless. Their weapons were useless against the humans' armor. Their tactics, based on old wars and predictable formations, crumbled in minutes. One by one, outposts fell. One by one, the defenders vanished. And still, the humans gave no explanation. Inside the colony's central command tower, Administrator Chiron watched in disbelief as the battle unfolded in real time. He had heard the rumors about human capabilities, about their training, their machines, their brutal tactics. But seeing it happen was something else. It felt like facing a storm with no shelter. "Why are they doing this?" he whispered. "We're not even inside their territory," but it didn't matter. The humans had already decided that this colony was a threat. Maybe because of its location. Maybe because of its hidden surveillance probes. Maybe because it was too close for comfort. Whatever the reason, they had command, they had come ready for war. When the final defense tower fell, and silence spread across the colony's burning remains, a message was left behind, not in words, but in a symbol. A single human emblem, scorched into the metal surface of the central courtyard. It wasn't a flag, it wasn't a warning, it was a promise. The humans were watching. The humans were defending. and the humans had no patience left. Back in the Galactic Council, the shock hit like thunder. News of the attack reached every star system within hours. The council chamber, usually cold and quiet, was now filled with shouting. Some members pounded, their fists on the tables, demanding war. Others stood frozen, speechless, realizing just how powerful the humans had become. For years, they had treated Earth's territory like a cursed zone, untouchable, forgotten. But now, that silence had turned into fire. They attacked a peaceful colony, one delegate shouted. "This is war." But Lyra, the scientist who had warned them before, stood and raised her voice. "No," she said. "This is a reaction. The humans must have detected something. They don't strike without reason, you all know that. But no one wanted reason. Not now. Not after the footage of human soldiers walking through destroyed alien bunkers without emotion. Not after hearing the screams of the last transmission. Fear had turned into rage. Plans were made. Emergency fleets were formed. And behind every word was the same thought. If the humans could do this to one colony, what else were they capable of? Meanwhile, inside human territory, Commander Reyna reviewed the footage of the strike. Her eyes were hard, expression unreadable. Her officers stood silently as the final reports came in. 0 human casualties. Full objective success. She nodded. "Once good," she said. "Let the galaxy feel what we feel every time they send a probe across our border." One of her officers spoke up. "They'll retaliate, maybe even form a joint task force." Reyna looked out the window of her warship. As stars drifted by, "Let them come," she said. "We've been preparing for years. They forgot who we are. They think this is about territory, but it's not. This is about survival." And in the control core of the massive human flagship, deep underground, where only a few knew what was hidden, the shield activated. A silent hum spread across space, a signal that moved faster than light, wrapping itself like a protective skin around the entire edge of human territory. To the outside world, it was invisible. But to the humans, it was everything. A promise of safety, while no enemy could cross without being burned alive, as alien fleets began to gather on the edge of human space. Preparing their response, one thing became clear. The humans had drawn a line, and anyone who crossed it would face something far worse than war. They would face humans with nothing left to lose. The fire had spread. The rules had changed. And the galaxy was standing at the edge of something they could no longer control. For days, the stars near human space had grown quiet. Alien fleets floated just beyond the invisible border, weapons ready, sensors locked in. Ships from over 17 civilizations hovered in tight formations, waiting for the command to advance. From the Galactic Council's central war room, a cold silence stretched across all channels. No one dared move first. Everyone was afraid of the next step because they knew what it could mean. Full-scale war with the most unpredictable force the galaxy had ever known. Behind closed doors, arguments turned into shouting matches. Some council members demanded peace talks, hoping to send diplomats to negotiate with the humans. Others mocked the idea. "You don't negotiate with animals?" one delegate said. "They only understand fire." But even the most aggressive leaders avoided giving the order to attack. They remembered too well how fast and how brutally the humans had responded to the colony's silent probes. They hadn't even crossed the border then. Now they were preparing too. In a sealed chamber, high above the rest, Council Chair Alvex studied the incoming reports alone. Dozens of pages filled with sensor data, intercepted signals, strange energy fields, and one common detail: nothing made. Since every time a scout ship tried to scan deeper into human space, its instruments failed. Some reported bending gravity, others recorded time glitches. One ship claimed it traveled an hour but returned days later, missing entire logs from its memory banks. Human space was acting like a living thing, rejecting anything alien, bending the rules of physics like they were nothing. "What have they built?" Alvex whispered to himself. "What are they hiding in there?" Meanwhile, far inside human territory, beneath the surface of a planet not listed on any galactic map, a secret meeting was underway. Human leaders, military commanders, and scientists gathered in a hardened bunker built into the crust of a dead world. In the center of the room stood a massive screen, displaying images of the alien fleets hovering just outside their borders. Every face in the room was calm, focused. There was no panic, no fear, only purpose. "We knew this day would come," said Commander Reyna. Her voice was steady, cold, but clear. "They've been watching us for decades, waiting for us to make a mistake. But they still don't understand who we are." Dr. Helena Trask, lead scientist behind Project SHIELD, stepped forward. "Gosh, the field is holding. No foreign scan has seen past the second barrier. But they're getting closer. Eventually, someone will try to breach it directly." "Let them," Reyna replied. "When they do, make sure they don't leave." But this meeting wasn't about defense anymore. It was about choice. For years, humanity had kept to itself, building quietly, watching the stars. They had learned from the galaxy, learned its tactics, its weapons, its diplomacy. But humans had never truly trusted the Council. It's after the early years when Earth had begged for protection and been ignored. When pirates burned its outer colonies and no one came. When disease swept through their trade ports and the Council laughed at their desperation, humans had survived alone. And now, alone, they had become something stronger. One of the military. Advisors pulled up a hologram of something the aliens didn't know existed yet. The Obsidian Protocol was humanity's final warning system. If the border was breached, even for a second, dozens of pre-deployed counterfleets hidden throughout. Nearby systems would strike without mercy. It wasn't just defense. It was punishment. Designed to teach the galaxy the cost of forgetting Earth's warnings. Back at the edge of human space, the alien fleets received one last transmission. Came through a strange encrypted channel that bypassed all their normal systems. It wasn't a visual message. No human face appeared. No threat was spoken. It was only a line of text repeated over and over in every language known to the galaxy. "You have been warned. Step into the fire and be consumed." The effect was immediate. Some commanders ordered their ships back. Others locked their weapons. In place, the message felt final, unbreakable, like the voice of a storm just before it breaks. But even as the Council hesitated, one small fleet didn't. A group of aggressive mercenary ships hired by a minor warlord trying to prove his worth crossed the line. They moved fast, arrogant, thinking they could slip in, scan a few things, and run out before anyone noticed. They were wrong. Within 30 seconds, all 12 ships were gone. No distress call, no signal, nothing, just gone. The only thing that returned was one broken drone drifting through space, its outer hull scorched with a symbol none of the alien races recognized. A jagged human mark, like a scar across a dying star. Panic spread through the Council chambers like fire in dry fields. What kind of weapon could do that? What kind of defense could erase ships that quickly without leaving evidence? No one had answers. The only thing left was fear, and in the center of that fear stood humanity, silent, powerful, watching. The truth was finally sinking in. The humans hadn't just built weapons. They hadn't just trained soldiers. They had built something else, something the galaxy wasn't ready for. A way of war that didn't rely on numbers or size. Strategy that blended technology, fear, and instinct. The humans were fighting a war long before the galaxy realized one had started. Now, with every fleet watching from the edge, the final question rose like smoke from the stars. Were the humans defending their home, or preparing to take more? The answer was coming soon, and the galaxy wasn't ready. The border of human space glowed faintly now, from ships or lights, but from the silent hum of the shield, activated in full. To the alien fleets watching from a distance, it looked like nothing. Just more stars, more black, more cold, emptiness. But their scanners told a different story. The field was there, massive, invisible, alive. It responded to pressure like skin. It pushed back. It warped sensors. It listened, and it was growing, Reports came in from across the galaxy. Outer satellites failed. Patrol ships vanished without warning. Entire trade routes blinked offline. No explosions, no debris. Just sudden silence. Wherever the shields stretched, the rules changed. Alien engineers and scientists worked night and day to understand it, to figure out what kind of technology could manipulate space so quietly, so perfectly, but none of them succeeded. Every answer they found only led to more fear. In the shadows of the Galactic Council, emergency sessions were held. Some argued to strike now, with everything. "They haven't attacked us directly yet," one commander growled. "But we all know they will. Look at what they're building. Look how far their silence reaches. If we wait, we die." But others said the opposite. "Strike now," one old diplomat said bitterly. "Going to lose hundreds of ships in seconds." "No. They've shown us what happens to those who enter. We leave them alone. That's the only path left." Then, without warning, a message came. Not a signal, not a threat. A human ship. It came alone, drifting slowly out of the void, toward the nearest alien fleet. It carried no weapons, no shields, only a simple human pilot inside, young.com, unarmed. The aliens could have destroyed it easily, but they didn't. They watched. They listened. And when the ship opened its transmission, what came through wasn't a declaration of war. It was a voice. Clear, direct, human. "I am not here to threaten you," the pilot said. "I am here to explain what none of your spies could. What your council still doesn't understand." The fleet's commanders leaned in. Every word mattered. "You think this began when one of your ships entered our space? You're wrong. This began long before. Began when Earth cried for help and none of you came. When pirates attacked our outer worlds and no council ship appeared. When your trade laws starved our colonies and your diplomacy pushed us into silence, we waited. We watched. And we survived." A pause. "You thought we were quiet because we were weak. But we were silent because we were changing, preparing, becoming something the galaxy would never control again." The alien admiral, one of the oldest voices in the fleet, spoke across the channel. "Then why attack? Why destroy colonies? Why burn without mercy?" The human pilot didn't flinch. "Because silence didn't work, and because you didn't listen. Now we speak your language, power, strategy, fear. You understand us now, because now you feel what we felt for years. Alone, surrounded, ready. More silence." Then the pilot gave one final message. "We are not your enemy unless you make us one. This is your last warning. If you cross our line again, we will not hold back. And this time, we won't just defend. We'll erase." Then the ship turned and vanished. No engines. No jump signatures, just gone. The alien fleets never crossed the border again. The Galactic Council never sent another scout. And across the galaxy, one truth settled into every species, every empire. Every ruler's mind. Humanity was not just a species anymore. It was a force, a boundary, a fire that burned quietly until provoked. And then consumed everything. From that day on, a new map was drawn. It was the same starfield, same sectors, the same distances, but one region, wrapped in deep black and surrounded by old warnings, bore a single name that every race, every fleet, every explorer would remember: human territory, and beneath it, carved in cold white letters, "Enter at your own risk," because now the galaxy understood. No one had dared enter human space, till one did, and the fear had spread like fire.